TGIF. It is, thank goodness it's Friday. We've come to the end of the week. Truly entertaining, and nothing has surprised us. It's classic America as usual. Just political games by law instead of by civil rules. But at least they're not shooting and killing anybody. There's no death squad, so that's all right. That's more of the Democrats. So anyhow, they indicted Mr. Trump, and the first thing I saw was the stock market fall down. Here, I'll show it to you on the screen. Let's switch over to that. Right. Let's see. Right there, is it? Maybe I'll do the bigger picture. Let's go to the big picture. I just want to show you, excuse me, how the market reacted. It was fascinating. Let's go back to that. I got to sneeze, I think. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Now, let's put it up right here and show you what the stock market did. I think the news came out right there. And it slammed down. And then seconds later, it just slammed back up again. That was it right there, which is fascinating. And everybody knows that it's only going to make a better America for what has happened. Hey, Robin. So, in other words, what's going to happen now is that, Mr. Trump will probably be president with no problem whatsoever. And, we'll get rid of these socialists that keep on dreaming of some fantasy somewhere or whatever that socialists dream of. I guess a perfect world with unicorns. I guess instead of automobiles, we have electric unicorns, and we just ride them forever, and there's forever energy. The laws of Newton and Maxwell and Einstein all thrown away. What was his name? John Van Neumann, and I can just go on. Feynman and Dyson, and just name a scientist. Even when I disagree with them, their laws that they followed are going to be thrown away. We're all going to ride electric unicorns, and when you walk out the door, it's going to be like candy and whatever you like. And it's just some type of fantasy, I guess. That's the only way I can understand what they're talking about, because they defy everything that is physical reality. So anyhow, that's where we are, and that's what the market did. I thought that was fascinating. That's what we always look at around here is, that type of action. Let's go look at that short term. I want to show you the short term. It was really funny. It was even funnier than the long term intraday chart. It was really, let's see if I go like that. There we go. And then we blow this one up again, like so. Make that the whole page. And then we scroll back to that time period. Let's see, where is it at? You'll see it. There it is. Let's widen that out. The news comes out right there, and they just slam it down within, let's see, how much was that? That was at 1710, and then in 1710 is there. That's 1710. 17 even. 2 minutes it's down there. And then they start to think, wait a minute, how does this hurt the market? How does it hurt the market? And then, after, what is that? That's 19 minutes. And there's 43 minutes later. They're starting to realize, wait a minute, something's wrong here. Money's coming in and nibbling. And, and it wasn't that big a move to begin with. It's only like, what's that? Something like, 8 points on the S&Ps. And after 40 minutes, they start to realize, oh no, this is wrong. He's going to be a shoo-in for president at this point. So that's where it's at. That's the markets. And we always look at the P&L more than anything else. That's usually the answer to it all. It's not what the media says or anybody else says, but it is where the money, as they would say, follow the money. I think that's the answer to it all. Follow the money. And what we do here is we follow the money. All right, traders. So from there, let's go to the dollar index and see what the dollar is up to today. Right there, it's basically just gliding down as usual because it's overpriced. It needs to get back into the 90s, break the century mark, please. And then from there, let's take a look at it over on Chicago. Right there. And actually, it's lifting up a little bit there. You can see that. There's a little strength. It's flirting near the zero line. You can see minus 0.04. So you can see that right there. It's trying to pop up a little bit. The line is trying to pop up. This is starting a curve here. You can see that. We'll see how that plays out. I myself am always trying to be a bear. You can see it's in that weekly sell from last week. Let's see if they take out these lows of, what was that low there? That low is 101.55. So today's low is 101.73. Let's see if it breaks the twos again and starts to move down. Last we saw in most of the currencies, they seem to be going up in value against the dollar. So Method, you got anything? Any excitement out there? Any ideas? Anything you want to look at? You ready for the weekend? I am. I got all kinds of fun going on. Lots of tractoring. Plants are getting happy in the greenhouse. Life is good. All right. Let's put up the euro. Oh, they passed the HR1 energy bill yesterday. That's got to be positive. That'll work against inflation, that's for sure. That HR1 is going to help slow down the inflation of the world economy. So that's a good thing. Now the trick is to get Mr. Biden to sign it. We'll see what the Senate does. I'm sure the Senate is going to be supportive of it. I'm sure they'll pass it. They're missing some senators. They're so sick and old that they can't even show up to vote. You can't vote by remote. So they're going to have to find like a wheelchair and an ambulance to try to bring them in to get them to vote. It's hard to say. Some are not healthy enough. So it kind of gives the Republicans, which are much younger overall, it opens up the doorway there for the Senate to pass the bill. And then see if we can get Mr. Biden to sign this thing. All right, there's the euro. You see the euro's been marching up, up, and up. Let's see what it looks like over on Chicago. Oh, where is it? I didn't open that page. Let's open that page. Open workspace. Dookie Day Week. There it is. While I'm waiting for that to open up, let's have a sip of tea. Let's move away from that currency that will not be named. There it is. There's the euro. See a little weakness this morning. Nothing major. It's up there firm. Our work is not complaining at all. And that weekly buy is not looking back. So they're probably going to try to take out this high of February. And then let's see where the last high was. Remember, they made all-time lows back in October. So last time they were up in this area was basically right there. That is, what's that, March, a year ago. So we're going after yearly highs. That's what we're really doing. We're trying to go after the yearly highs. So that's pretty good. A 12-month high, not a yearly high, just 12-month high. That's something. And we're going to go after the yearly high too, but the 12-month high is cool. What do we got there? Hyung. Kyuan Wee Hyung. Hey, how you doing? Happy weekend to you. Oh, ready for potato cooking. Oh, interesting. What do you do with the potatoes? Boil them, fry them, onions? Onions? I hope you put onions in there. I like fried. Once in a while I'll eat fried potatoes with onions and vegetables and so forth. I don't eat a lot of potatoes because I stay away from starch and flour a lot. I just don't eat them. But when I do, they're always fun, without a doubt. Khan? Is it Khan? How's that sound? Can we? You can ask a question anytime here. We can put up charts on anything you'd like to see. At least if we can get it, that's for sure. We like to look at the markets. We follow accurate direction of things most of the time here. Our accuracy is between 85 and 90% of the time accurate, and it gets you out of trouble when it's turning ugly. You don't end up giving back your 90%. You only give back like 1% or quarter percent or things like that. So if you want to see anything, just put it up there. It's a Friday, so we're having fun. Same old, different day. That's about it. All right, what else can we say about that? And Robin should chime in about the potato traders. You should tell him some of the stories, Robin, about the potato traders. What else can we say as we take another sip of tea? Put the lid back on it. There we are. So, let's go back. There's the euro. You see that strength. You see the same strength over here on J4X. And we know that the dollar is trying to back off. Onions, good. Good. Onion traders? Which one was it that they left them in the railroad cars and just let them rot? Was it the potatoes or the onions? Where they ban? So you can't trade onions and you can't trade potatoes anymore at the exchanges. Let's go over to the British pound. I think they call them bangers there. And there is the British pound moving up and away. You can see it's very happy, having no problems. And let's put her up over here on Chicago Quant. There's the cable right there. And you see there, it's kind of more towards the high. I think yesterday I actually saw the the Euro GBP actually going into a buy. I imagine it's falling back down into the sell today because this looks stronger. But, they're both going to be marching up, that's for sure. And the dollar is going to be slowly pushed down. And all those dollar people, whoever's worried about the dollar, don't worry. The dollar will do fine. Our economy works better when we're not the world reserve currency. But unfortunately, there's nobody out there to take that burden. I can't even imagine China taking that burden. I don't even understand why they even say it. They would not take that burden. I can't imagine it. They posture to take that burden. But I can't even imagine the China authorities to open the doorway for them to be the world reserve currency. Next thing you know, the yuan will be trading at 34 or something like that. So I don't see it. Can you imagine if the yuan was able to float and actually trade in an open market? That would be wild. Think about all those bankruptcies they allowed to go through. It would be a problem. It would be a major problem. All right. From there, we go to, you got to, just one last thing. You got to imagine the yuan is basically fixed to the dollar. So if you remove the dollar as the world reserve currency, the yuan won't have anything to gravitate towards. All right. So from here, we go to the Swiss franc. Let's see what the Swiss is up to. We think in many ways the Swiss franc is like the canary in the coal mine for the coal miners. We keep on expecting that when the Swiss breaks down more and more and becomes more valued against the dollar again, like it's doing now. When it goes down, it's gaining value against the dollar. When it takes out some of these lows and hangs out in the 80s, I think that'll give us a good sign that a lot of this noise is over with. When it comes to confusion and direction of markets and the dollar and so forth. I would really, we'll be seeing that. I know I can feel it. We will be seeing it. We'll see a dollar in the 90s on the dollar index. All right, now it's nowhere near what the dollar, that 1.00 was on the euro. That's for sure. We've been down there before. All right, now let's put it up on, there's Swiss there, and let's put the Swiss up on Chicago. Right there. And it's bouncing a little bit on the upside, but we're going to be in a daily, we went into the daily sell yesterday. Let's put that line in there. and we're below the zero line. From last week, you can see the fast moving algorithm's been in a weekly sell since back up in here. So that pressure is on. Robin says, Maine potatoes traders traded in New York. Onions were rotting in hidden railroad cars. Chicago means, cars in Chicago means smelly onions, Potawatomi language. Exact, potty language. Yeah, they were weasels, all right. And so they're not even allowed to trade them at an exchange now. Has to be like just commerce in general. That's it. Funny stuff. All right. Thank you, Robin. I just didn't want to be the only one out there saying that there was a problem. Now, from there, we'll go over to the yen. Yen seemed to turn direction in the last couple of days. You can see that. It's moving up against the dollar. So it's losing value against the dollar when it goes up. You can see here it's been in a buy now 5 days. The weekly's not really turning much. The fast has broken the manifold there. You can see that. But nothing major, I just kind of... I imagine this is like, a A and a B, and then we'll do a C, and we'll break it down again. Somewhere along the line, we're going to break into those mid-20s at least. At least I hope so. We'll just follow the math, watch the way it plays. All right, now from there, we inch our way over to the Turkish lira. Right there, Euro Turkish lira. Let's put it up on J4X. Oh, we didn't see the yen there. Let's see what the yen looks like on J4X right there. See here, it's at the top end of its range. It's really pushing hard. We'll see when it starts to roll over again. Rolling with the homies. And then from there is the Euro Turkish lira right there. And it's marching up and away. And you can see here we're still in a buy for a couple of days. It's trying to roll over a little bit, but I think it's still up, isn't it? Let's see. It closed yesterday at 20.95. And today it's trading at 20.89, so it's down a little bit. And the weekly doesn't care. It don't care. It's like a honey badger. It don't care. Both lines are above the manifold. So I'd imagine it'll just kind of zip along here for a while like that. Unless there's, a reason for money to pour into Turkey again. Like another disaster. They had two back-to-back earthquakes. Not aftershocks, but a second set of earthquakes a week and a half later. So a lot of money came in to help out. And you could see it in the currency itself, the action. Nice sip of the tea. And Kiwanwi, do you want to see anything particular? Or just saying hi. That's okay. You don't have to say anything. Just thought we'd let you know that we let everybody ask questions or look at things, whatever they want to look at. It's a way of proving the success of the system, always seeing something new. Now we look at two other currencies. Look at the Canadian dollar, and we look at the South African rand, and then we finish off with the Mexican peso. But the two currencies, the Canadian dollar and the South African rand, we match them up to the commodities that they seem to follow. We notice that the Canadian, you see how it's moving down against the dollar here, and that usually, it's up a little bit today, but overall it's in a sell since up in here, and it's in a weekly sell now. It's getting into that weekly sell, and you can see the trend overall has been downwardly, like an A and then a B and C. And it's, so overall the trend has been down with higher lows and lower lows, that type of thing, and there's another lower low and so forth. And then we look at crude oil. And more than likely crude oil is doing the opposite. It's going up in value. And there is West Texas Intermediate. It's around here somewhere. All right, where is it at? West Texas. There's Brent. There it is right there. There's West Texas Intermediate trading at 74.80. See, it's had that upwardly drive as this has had that downwardly drive. starting off basically the same period, like right there. There's the lows in the oil. It marches up over the, what's that, 11, 12, 13 days, something like that. Then you could count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days. Does the same thing. It peaks out and moves down. They seem to like to match up with each other. They seem to gravitate in a relationship. Now, from there we go over to gold. And we look at, and we can show you the Canadian too here. CAD. Where are you, CAD? Right there. There's the CAD. And then we'll show you the same thing with Chicago Quant when it comes to the oil. Like so. We'll just reverse the screens out so you can see it in both factors. There it is right there. And it's been marching up, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Same thing. Like same area, bottom, as this was the top. All right, now what we do is we go over to gold, and we'll put gold. In this case here, we'll go like this. We'll go South African Rand right there. And there's the Rand. The Rand has been trying to do the same thing, find a way to go down. And we see that the gold, over the same time period, has done the sideways thing at times and then gone up at times. And let's find it. We'll find it in a few seconds here. Just go to window. And there's the gold. You see it was marching up, and then it kind of flattened out a little bit in here, like this, flattening out here. And now it's trying to lift. Slid into the buy yesterday. It's looking a little sloppy today with a green and a red. See what they do there. Is it plus still? Yeah, it's plus by 1.40. And the weekly is very well intact with both the fast and the slow above the manifold. Only thing is that the fast has slowed down and dropped underneath the slow. So it's like a little pressure thing, like when it does it over here with the fast and slow. Oh yeah, you didn't know about that? About the onions and the potatoes? The real weasels came out. I mean, the real weasels. They interfered in delivery, physical delivery. Physical delivery, yeah. New York and Chicago played that game. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Traders will trade, They will fool around. There are some real weasels in the exchanges. That's why the exchanges own the CFTC. They don't have a choice. Boy, if they didn't own the CFTC, they'd all be out of business. All right. So right there, gold. Yeah, gold lifting up. So what we do now is we put gold up over here on the South African Rand spot. So you can see both on J4X right there. And there's gold doing that same gig like it did here. And then we put up the South African Rand right there. Let's see. Right there. ZAR. Same groove. As gold has rallied, it has gone down. Now, they do have those problems down there, so, Yeah. Yeah, I heard. I've read it in the Wall Street Journal back in the 80s and the 90s. What was it? When we started currency options, because when we started currency options, this was before there was the S&P futures contract. So what we did is we created calls and puts on 5 currencies. I think it was. Or 6. The 6 currencies. So it was the yen, the Deutschmark, the Swiss franc, the British pound, the Canadian dollar, and I don't think we had the French franc. I think we just had the Swiss franc and the at the exchange. Arnie Saloff, he was the one at the exchange that set it up, and then they started. Then the Wall Street Journal started talking about new contracts and things like that, and they started. Then there were stories about how the potato traders in New York squeezed the market by hiding railroad cars full of potatoes and delivery, and then the onion traders in Chicago, and yeah, it was just like really bad, because it was so cheap for them to buy a car of potatoes, so they could afford to lose it and make it in the futures contract. You see, yes, it was a swamp. Story goes, Metho says, my aunt lived in Chicago, now San Diego. Okay. Yeah, no heater needed. Yeah, I don't blame her. San Diego is like one of the best places to live temperature-wise. It's really nice temperatures. So, what else is there? I guess that's about the end of that story, But I just thought it was well worth it because of potatoes and so forth. And every time someone mentions potatoes, I always think of the trading story. I rarely ever mention it because no one would understand it. But here on the webinar, we can have the conversation about it, and it's not odd or so forth. It doesn't it makes sense. So, all right. And so the South African Rand has a political issue going on right now, and they're having banking problems down there. Between the two of those things put together, that the currency is not functioning like it used to. Let's put it that way. But it is starting to trend. It's still following somewhat of the trend of gold against it. Like, remember we said a couple of days ago when we saw it backing off, I kept on saying, look for gold to go back up. And when we go back over to the gold, you see here, it has been on an upwardly slope since it went into the sell. But, obviously in a weekly buy, so you wouldn't take the short to begin with. Just take profits from all this action. But yeah, that's what I knew that there'd be some strength in it. Even today, it has a higher high than yesterday. So that's what that's all about. The South African Rand is basically pointing that out. Learn a new language. Onionese? Do we have to learn Onionese or Potatoese? Which language do we have to learn? How about that combination of sausage, sausage and onions and potatoes with peppers? My little baby pepper plants are starting in the greenhouse. I'm so happy. I'm going to have so many peppers this year. Sneezing time again. Okie dokie. Spinach. Yes, we're going to have spinach. I have bok choy. And I have, what else do I have? Pole beans. I'm going to grow a couple acres of everything. I think I'll go put the organic stand out there again. Organically grown is going to be out there again. I just brought in a bunch of horse manure. Oh, yeah. We're going to crank it up. Language of Spain. Oh, Spain, not spinach. Okay. Espanol. All right. So from there, we slide over to the last currency of them all, and that is the Mexican peso. And there it is right there. Still marching down from that daily sell underneath the weekly. So I guess the fear of that brick stuff is all gone bye-bye. Yeah, Spanish is like the second language in America. I've never had a Spanish class in my life, but we've had so many people from the Spanish-speaking cultures that it's normal around here. It's not that far-fetched. There is not supposed to be an official language of America. In other words, that's all part of the Constitution. Government can't enforce an official language. I think they try to pass things once in a while, but I think it's in the Constitution. So they print, a lot of things have English and Spanish printing everywhere. And then they throw in a few other things. Mexico City. All right. All right, let's kill some volume here. There we go. The stock market is lifting up still more. And didn't we have... Is GDP coming out, I guess, next week, or is it coming out? No, it came out. It came out 2 days ago. That's what it was. I was wondering if there's any big news left to come out at the end of the month here. Nah, not really. I don't see any particular reason for it. Not the size of America and its diversity and so forth. Nah, we're a very educated people, even as stupid as we act. So there's no problem with having multiple languages roaming around. I think when you're a small country, 3 or 4 or 5 million, it makes it tougher to have the diverse languages. But when you're a country of almost 400 million, yeah, I don't think it means much. Especially with our level of sophistication. Everybody has a computer in their pocket. Everybody has a computer next to them. It's they can always use a language communicator of some form. I like less government. That's what my whole hang-up about everything is. Less government, the better. All I wish they would do is just pay attention to the military and nothing else. How the market took the core PCE inflation data. Let's take a look. I thought I saw the numbers come out. It was just a tick off or something like that. But you can see here. Let's go to intraday, and it's been marching up more now. So it came out. Where did it come out? It came out right. Let's see. Where's it at? Came out right here. Right? Came out right here. No. Let's tighten it up one more time. Okay, came out right here. So, came out there and the market lifted up from it and then kind of backed off, did a 50 percentile there, and now it's moving back up towards the highs of the day again. So, no real drama at this point when it comes to that. And the news last night did the same thing, pushed the markets more up than down. Yeah, I saw it like at 2 tenths versus 3 tenths or something like that. Yeah. All right. So I guess, and then we can go over and look. Let's do this. Let's look at the S&P 500 for you too. There, it's trading towards the highs of the day again. It's closing in that weekly buy. Everything looks pretty good actually. I'd imagine the markets are going to go sideways up for a while now. Sideways up. I guess it'll take some bad news. Now, the last thing everybody's nervous about, I guess you could say, is the real estate market. There's a lot of blue cities that are going to feel the pain. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Yeah, so they're going to feel the pain, So that's the big one, is the real estate market. They're going to see, I forget what it is. It's like $2 trillion of junk bonds out there. 2 trillion, not billion or million, trillion of junk bonds on real estate. So they're figuring that they'll feel some pressure. What do you mean? Options on both ways. What do you mean? You mean calls and puts, or the options of what to do with the risk? The Democrats are learning that they can't hold the population back. They've done a pretty good job using COVID. They invented COVID, so it's they used it to hurt everybody. Both calls and puts experience theta decay. Not theft, theta. Yes, theta decay. Okay, yeah. So that's normal. So do bonds. Bonds feel the same way. The market does not go anywhere really. Yeah, I agree. I think I see. In other words, basically sell a straddle. Yeah, I agree. Put a binary on the top. a binary call spread up top and a binary put spread down below. Sell them both and sit back and let them work. Or you could even get as crazy as, I've been looking at, I don't do them the same way as most people do when it comes to straddles and butterflies, but you could basically set up some type of butterfly thing going on, a couple 100 points wide on both sides of it. We are today at May 10th, 2022 level. Oh, on the stock market or in interest rates? Let's go. Let's put the S&Ps up on J4X. S&Ps. Okay, here we go. So here's the S&Ps here. Let's scrunch this up. We get back about, where can we go to in this? Somewhere's around August. There's August. On ours. Now let's go to J4X. And you can see here, there's August, and then you get back even further. So May, there's May. So yeah, and then so there's the all-time high right there, right? At the end of the, let's see, was it at the end of the Trump year or something like that? Let's see, 20, yes. Going right into 21. And then Biden takes over, the market tops out and goes down. Okay. Yeah. All right. And so that's the answer to that. Basically is that, it's not that bad. I mean, price-wise, dividends, earnings, so forth. I imagine, what's the dividend? About 3% on the S&P 500? So, 3% would be 300 more points at least. 30 points. 10% would be 400 points, wouldn't it? So 3% would be, about 200 points. 200 points more puts us, way up there, challenging a lot of these highs, Keeps on hitting the 4,200 area and stalling out, doesn't it? There's 43 back in August of last year. As it's marching down from 21. And you can see, Biden takes over here. The economy's running at 6.5% at that point. Inflation's 1.5%. So it goes on for like another 4 or 5 months, and then finally tops out when they realize how screwed we are. Remember, the Federal Reserve was still QEing. They weren't really slowing down their QE. They were still like 0.25% interest rates or zero, or I don't know, something like that. Then they had to start raising rates, and then obviously when you don't have any interest rates and they're giving away all that free money to the hedge funds and the banks, then there's no reason for stocks to drop. Is that where it's at? 1.5%? Wow. That hurts. 1.5%. Not really covering for inflation, is it? Well, the Federal Reserve is propping everything up on the planet, so what can you say? They give billions away every night for free to funds to hold stocks and not sell. So they sell calls against it and just take in the premium. Worst case is they get exercise and they make money. That's how that whole thing works in the end. All right. So, yeah, I hear you there. 1.5% though, that hurts. And let's widen this back out again. Well, we'll see what they do with this buy signal. See if it goes on for 4 or 5 weeks and brings it up past the 4,200. I'd imagine, where's the all-time high? The all-time high is what, 40? Let's go back to J4X again. I think the all-time high is what, 4,636? Is that what that is? So basically, we're not that far off, really, when you think about it. I mean, if we're up around the 41s now, and all-time high is 46, that's nothing. 500 points. This product goes up and down 200 or 300 points at any given time. It's basically a sideways channel going on, really. Right there. With that major low in October right there. But overall, it's it hasn't taken that high out of August of 20. Was that 22? And that's 4,400. I guess they're going to go challenge. Looks like they're making higher highs. They did it there, and they made a higher low. That's the October low. Is that the October low? No, there's the October low right there. So they've made higher lows. Maybe they're going to give us another higher high again up into this area here. Buy rights, and I guess you got to make that straddle really wide to sell. Go with the theta. That makes sense. I agree with you. Sounds like a play to me. What was the dividend in? Okay, so Metho says 2021 was great. 1.5% dividend and 2.5% overnight swap. Yeah. And what do we have? We had the first quarter of 2021 was 6.2 or 6.5% GDP, and the fourth quarter was the same way. Trump had put us back on track nicely. That's what That's why the markets are probably firming. They know one thing: Trump's going to be president again within 2 years. So, a year and a half, I guess you could say. Where is it at now? We're almost in April. So 1 year and 9 months, Trump will be president of the United States again. So I guess that's what it comes down to. I understand they're going to do all the same things the Democrats do now. They're going to do voter harvesting and the whole bit. So he's up in the polls big time. His poll numbers are really rocketing. Nobody's even near him on the Republican side. I think 35 or 40% below the Florida governor is. And then Biden has his poll numbers are like 30 something. And in the United States, I think Trump's polls are in the high 50s, low 60s. So it'll be fine. Nah, there's no prison. They're not going to put anybody in prison. Maybe Hillary will end up in prison now because of all this. So. No, it's not all or nothing for Trump. It's a win-win for him. Be indicted and win, or don't be indicted and win. He's going to win either way. It's nothing to get indicted in America. You can indict a ham sandwich. Matter of fact, they were saying the last couple of days, maybe ham sandwiches are safe now because they were having a hard time indicting Trump. Because if you can't indict somebody in America, then you're really a bad prosecutor. It's so easy to indict somebody. Now, the bigger question is, will the prosecutor lose his law license? That's the biggest question. That's the biggest question I have. Will he lose his law license? I say the chances are 100 to 1 that he loses his law license to Trump going to prison. That's what I say. 100 to 1. I think he'll lose his law license. All right. From there, okay, so we're done looking at the S&P 500. And let me think. What else we got going on here? Let's go to, we did the Mexican peso. So what we do is let's go look at the metals complex, or unless someone else wants to see something. Let's go to gold. I guess we'll go to silver. Let's do the silver. We saw what gold looked like. It's sideways. It's just sitting there, not sure what to do. And then where's silver? Silver, right there. There's silver. And silver holding up firm still. We'll put it up over here. And there's silver. It's like gold, but much more firmer looking. I guess it's like playing catch up. It's been behind for a while. Now it needs to get, up more. Maybe it'll go challenge this high here. What is that? That is a high of 24.78, 79 to be exact. 74.79. So let's see if they get them up into the high 24s. And we're in that weekly buy. And this doesn't seem to be letting go whatsoever. These two are married to each other tightly, so that's pretty cool. Okay. Now, from there, we go take a look at copper. And there is the copper. And a little red there this morning. And what do we got over here? I think it made it into the daily buy yesterday. No, it didn't. It still was playing with it. That's all. Okay. And so just remove that. As was it. But it's playing with the weekly buy. That's what it's doing. It's showing real life on the weekly buy there. And then let's take a look at platinum. I guess we'll be switching contracts soon on that. Go to the July contract. Platinum. Something needs to be fixed there. What is that all about? That yesterday that closed in a buy. Now it's all kinds of weird looking. Well, let's see if we can straighten it out by just refreshing it. There we go. That straightened it out. There we are. So went into the buy yesterday. Almost got into the buy here. Just missed it. Or the day before, did it? No, it's in a buy there too. 16. Okay, so it's a third day in a buy right there. So it's in a buy. And it's in the week. Where's the weekly at? The weekly zero line is right there. So it's still in a weekly buy for another week. It means that there's more life for the metals complex on the upside. Maybe they think the interest rates are going to back off. I don't know. Maybe they think activity is going to get going in America. All right. From there, we slide over to, where do we go from there? We go to the energy sector. Let's look at crude oil. There's crude. We saw that earlier. Now it's trading at 74.91. Let's see what the back month is saying. 74.91. They're trading at parity. So as long as they keep on trading at the same price, it says to me that they want to lift. Over here on J4X, let's put J4X. We're going to show you Brent right there. There's Brent lifting up also at the same time. That action's going on. And let's see what the weekly looks like. I'm sure it's trying to turn up into the buy also with no problem. Very close. I'm sure it'll get going soon. I know when we look at West Texas, let's just put the West Texas back in there. That's green. I remember looking at that and seeing that. That's green, and the line is trying to turn up. So we'll keep an eye on that for Monday. But it looks like this thing will try to get into its weekly buy next week. Surprising me, I thought we'd get to the 62 area. Instead, we died at the 65 area. When we went into the sell at 75, I was convinced we were going to see 62, but it didn't happen. I thought they'd make a new low. But they did not. Well, I guess, yeah, they did. They made a new low, but I just thought they could get past the 65. That's what I thought. Because, they passed HR1. And I keep on thinking that they're actually going to get it past the president. We'll hope and see. All right, I'm convinced the Senate will pass it also. All right, from there we slide over to Nat Gas. See what the Nat Gas is doing. Nat Gas, and we'll put it in the daily too there. Nat Gas. Boy, this is the tale of two cities, isn't it? Natural gas. Right there. Trading at, it's lifted up a little bit more. 220. I saw it at 211 this morning. Let's go find it over here. There's the Nat Gas. Oh, yeah, look at that. They're popping it. Neat. Hey, Robin, are you watching this? If we can get some action out of this right here, that could be next week's business. It could be me thinking get long. We'll keep an eye on this. I mean, they've really knocked this thing down. Boy, that last one was great. Got into the buy here and it gave it like 70 cents. It was neat. The fast jumped up with it If we can get the fast to jump up with a daily buy going into Monday, definitely want to think about being long. I definitely do. That's definitely where my head's at. All right. From there, we go over to Espanol. Let's check out, and you can see, look at this on J4X. It's battling to try to, on a daily. It's trying to get into a buy. I mean, it's trying. Look at that. That line is, banging up over the slow stochastic. Let's see what the weekly looks like there. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. We'll keep an eye on that. It's just like ours. Nothing yet on the slow. All right. From there, we go over to the Espanol company. Let's put that in there. And let's see. Let's have our fingers crossed that it's not at 28. I'm afraid it might be at 28 today. I feel sorry for the Europeans that have to pay $28 for a cubic foot of natural gas. Let's see, there it is right there. And the survey says 27.77. That's plenty high enough. They have not been able to knock that thing back down. Now look at it there. It is trying to turn over. And what else can we say about that? It is trying to, daily is trying to roll over. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's going up. The bars have been saying that for a weekly for weeks. The line is saying it. And here in the States, ours says, no thank you. VA con Dios. All right. All right, traders. What else we got going on here? That is the energy sector. So let's take a walk through the neighborhood of the stock indices and the Bitcoin. Oh, I heard from Janos. I heard from Wilco. Yeah, I heard from Wilco. I keep on telling him, go back, do a webinar or two. All right, now let's go to the S&P 500. There it is right there. It looks like it's turning into the buy too. Yep, look at that. No problem whatsoever. Through the green line and up she goes. And we'll put it up over here. And it's leading very nicely. Showing some good strength in there, just like the way it's doing here. They're going to be in buys with no problem. This is already in a buy. So that's cool. Now let's take a look at the Tech 100. Right underneath it. Right there. Tech 100 has been in a weekly buy for like 3-4 weeks now. Let's see. And there's 3 weeks there. And 3 full weeks here. And it danced its way through the, on the 4th week back. It was trying to get through, but, it's definitely looking healthy as all get out. And this is like a barometer to the interest rates. He's trading the cryptos. What else is he doing? I've convinced him to pay attention to Bitcoin. You know how he was, how he used to follow every. He probably owned Bitcoin when it was at 3 cents a share, or 3 cents a coin, and and he would get in and out of them, and he was doing fine when Bitcoin got up into the 30,000-ish area. I remember him doing fine still, playing, getting in and out. He was like weekly trading these things, not keeping a little inventory, but then when Bitcoin fell down into the, I want to say like the $16,000 area or something like that, from the $60,000 area, he got a little hurt in that. But he's in there nibbling away. He chases the technology more than he chases anything else. So when he sees something that in a crypto that has superior technology, he goes and rushes towards it. So. But I've told him, you got to watch that Bitcoin. That Bitcoin is truly the beacon of all crypto trading. and equity market trading too. You know, I mean, there's no doubt. We'll show you in a few seconds here. We'll go like this. I just want to see where the Dow Jones Industrial Average is, if it's making it through the weekly or not. And then what we'll do is we'll take a look at, yeah, see, it's doing the same thing. It's got a green going on, and the green line is shooting up. Let's see what we got on our work. It's been wrestling with it all week long, I can tell you that. Yeah. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah, it's above the zero line. There's the zero line right there. So, yeah, he's more of a technology junkie than anything else, but, you know, connected to cryptos. And then let's take a look at, we have the Russell. Oh, what did I just do? There we go. Let's go look at the Russell. That would be an insightful thing. Where's the Russell at? There's Bitcoin, and then we'll look at Bitcoin after that. The Russell's in here somewhere. We've looked it up before. There it is right there. There's the Russell. And Russell's trying to lift up. You can see it's bottoming in here. Let's see what we got going on over here. Whoa, what happened there? Let's find the Russell. This will tell us how much speculative money is going into that market. The fast has moved up, but the slow has not. It's like J4X. So it's trying to get going. You can see it there. It's through the zero line. And what we need more strength in there. Maybe next week it'll be next week's business. Maybe it'll go after the 1900. That'll confirm speculative money is coming into the marketplace overall. Let's see, what else can we say about any of this at this point? Bitcoin. Let's look at the Bitcoin, and then we'll pull out of here. There's Bitcoin. Yep, showing the strength that we've been seeing for a couple weeks over here. Three full weeks in a buy over here, and it's been holding on nicely. Went into the daily buy off of this. It's been very firm. We did do a little selling here for a little bit. You see that? And we're back into the buy again here. And we'll see how well they climb up. But without a doubt, the cryptos are, you know, I mean, you got to imagine, the cryptos have gone, since it's gotten towards the weekly buy number, it's gone up, what is that, 20%? Maybe more. It's gone from 25 to almost 30, right? So what is that? That's 20%. It's a nice move. All right, traders. Everybody have, I got to have a title too. I think I'm going to call this Equity Markets Lifting or something like that. That'll be the title today. It'll be something like that. And so I think that what we'll see is equity markets showing more firmness now that they've got all the political stuff kind of in line now. So this is Doc. Everybody have a safe and smart weekend, and we will catch you all on Monday. Oh, Janos, what do they do with Good Friday? Are you open on Good Friday? Are we closed? United States is closed on Good Friday. Do we do Good Friday here? I forget. I don't think. Or do you guys do Monday or something like that? We're open on Monday. We're closed on Friday. So April 10th, we're open. And April 7th, we're closed. So we'll see how... we'll discuss it next week. Figure out what's going on. So anyway, this is Doc. Seeing you guys and gals next Monday. It'll be TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. Oh, what's that? On the 10th or the 7th? Or both? I'll do the 10th with no problem. And we can, cancel the 7th. That's all. Because no, how's that sound? Both? Do both? I can do both. I have no problem doing both. So this is Doc from North America. We will catch you all same time, same channel. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Everybody have a safe and smart weekend. Hope all your plants in your greenhouses are growing. Ta-ta for now.